last over time, whereas a television show is part of pop culture, and I love that. That's fantastic. But eventually it's a DVD, or it gets shelved away, or it's a memory, or it's, well, now it's on the internet. We have a different thing.
Yeah.
But it's not, I think I'm interested in being impactful, and I was lucky enough to have some moments with film and TV that were impactful, or at least a show that had a social impact, which was very profound for me. I didn't know if I was going to have another series that had a social impact, and I thought I didn't want to just pay the mortgage. I wanted to try to find another way to be impactful in that it would last.
Yeah.
A good example is my ex-husband was a production designer, and he did commercials. And then he moved into architecture and went to architecture school, and he got his master's. And while he was getting his master's, he realized, I don't want to build a set that gets torn down and thrown in the trash, because the industry would like do a Nike set and then throw away $200,000 worth of a set. And he felt like it was so wasteful. And I know this is more an environmental issue, what I'm saying, but he wanted to build a house that would be there forever.
Yeah.
I think I want to build something that's going to last longer than a television show.
Is that because you're aware of your own mortality as you grow older?
And I think that is a very common middle-aged feeling. I think I started to feel it as I was getting older. Like I didn't feel that way when I was younger, 20s, 30s. You don't really feel that way. At least I didn't. But I think it changes.
So this is a legacy for you then?
That sounds a little bit narcissistic. So I think even I would...
Maybe that's stretching it.
That's stretching it, yeah. I think it's more... it's back to the being able to express yourself every day, and then having an impact on, creating a piece that someone has some emotion from. But you got to be careful when you do that, because you can't be everybody's cup of tea. You got to really work from your heart, and you got to take risk, and you got to not worry about the result.
How do you manage to deal with that then, this concept of not worrying about what people may think if they think negative things?
I found that everybody has such a different, varying opinion on things. It's easy for me because this is what kind of toughens you up being in the film industry. You can do a movie that does really well, or a movie that doesn't do as well, or critics can like you in something and not. And you kind of have to not believe the hype when it's there, and not believe the hype when it's negative. Like, don't believe the hype that's pumping you up, nor believe the hype that's kind of negative, because it's all external. It's not internal, and it doesn't matter.
No.
You have to just sort of keep telling your story and navigate it. I guess I had people that were older than me when I first started acting that kind of gave me that advice, and after 20 years of doing it, I had experienced both. I've experienced the good reviews and the bad, and it doesn't matter. It's someone else's opinion, But to me, with art, I've been really lucky, because I thought it would be a world that would be really difficult to enter into, and being taken seriously in it. I mean, I was afraid, but I've had some really good luck with, and I say Europe more than America, and I focused on Europe more, and it's been probably the best thing I've done to get out of the States and try to show over here. And I think the general idea over here is that if you're a creative person, director, writer, actor, painter, artist, they give you sort of like a free permission to try out different things. Like, you can make movies, or you can make short films, or you can move around in the creative arena a little more, where our pop culture is so strong right now in the United States that we have a president that's been elected that was on a reality TV show. So you can see how it's a whole different thing. And I think it would have been easier if I had started in art, like gone to Cal Arts or RISD or someplace like that, and duked it out in New York for 10 years. Maybe in America people see that as, oh, okay, you're a painter. But you come to Europe, it doesn't matter. You can move around in that atmosphere, and there's a little more acceptance in it. At least that was my experience going to the Venice Biennale. That was my experience showing in Berlin. That has been my experience in Amsterdam. That is a general acceptance that you can move back and forth between creative mediums, and people are more accepting of that. It's probably